Hello, I hope you're doing great. Today I have a short one, but a really fun one, and something that I think you will find very applicable. And it came from a very ordinary parenting moment. I went to my son improv's show at school. It was awesome. It was chaotic and honestly kind of brilliant. And it reminded me of the first rule of improv, which is yes and. Not yes, but, not no, that's not what I wanted, not stop, rewind, let's do that again. It's yes and. So you hear me say improv and you might be thinking jazz, cadenzas, or making something up on the spot. That's not what I mean today. I mean improvising with reality. Because a lot of what makes performance anxiety feel unbearable is not the stress symptoms themselves. It's the second layer. It's what you say about the symptoms. It's what you think about the symptoms. And here's the science in plain language. When you're about to perform, your body activates. Your heart rate goes up. Your breath changes. Your hands feel different. Your mouth might be dry. Your legs might be shaky. All of that is not your body failing. That's your body preparing. It's energy. It's mobilization. And I call it activation. But anxiety is what happens when you take that activation and you add a fight with your own mind over that. Nate Zinsser talks about this beautifully in The Confident Mind, one of my favorite books. So the body does what bodies do before a challenge. Then the thoughts pile on. And that combination is what turns stress into anxiety. And the thoughts are not subtle. Might sound like, I might mess up, they're going to judge me, my hands feel weird, what if I blank, what if I crack a note, what if I lose the tempo, what if I ruin it? So now here's the part that matters. Most musicians respond to those thoughts in one of two ways. We pretend we're not thinking them, or we try to shut them down. And both usually backfire because your nervous system is not convinced by denial. And it is definitely not calmed by force. If a part of you is scared and you respond by yelling at it, that part does not relax. It gets louder. So, what works better? Here's the word. Validation. And I'm not talking about agreement. I'm talking about validation. Validation is when you acknowledge what's there without making it a catastrophe. And this is where yes and becomes a performance tool, a really great performance tool. Yes, I might mess up and I can recover. Yes, they might judge me, most likely will. And I can still play with conviction. Yes, my heart is pounding. And that's my body getting ready to do something important. Yes, I could have a memory slip. And I've navigated mistakes before. I know how to keep going. I know how to do this. Yes, this passage is not stable yet. And I can practice with focus and calm instead of panicking. Yes, I feel exposed and vulnerable today. And I can still communicate something real through the music. This is not positive thinking. This is psychological flexibility. It's a beautiful thing. It's you receiving reality and continuing forward. It's you staying in the scene. Because the moment that you argue with your fear, and really hear me when I say this, the moment you argue with your fear, you leave the music. You've heard me say this before on the podcast, and my clients hear it all the time. Byron Katie says, when you fight with reality, you lose, but only every time. So you receive reality, you validate it, and you play with it. When you give into the fear, you go up into your head and you start to manage danger. You're in crisis management. But when you say yes and, you're telling the nervous system something important. You're saying, I hear you. You're saying, you're allowed to be here. You're saying, we're still going to keep going. And that, my friend, lends as safety. And safety is what lets your breath drop. Safety is what makes your jaw release. And it's how your attention come back to your sound. Let's make that even more concrete with some practice examples, because this is where musicians can use it every day. So let's say you sit down to practice and you feel behind. The old script is, that's not good enough. I should be further. I'm wasting time. Try this instead. Yes, I feel behind. And I can still do 20 minutes of honest work. Yes, I'm frustrated. And I can choose one small target and improve it. Yes, I don't have my best focus today. And I can practice in shorter chunks and still make great progress. Or you're in the warm-up room before a performance and your sound feels tight. The old script says, oh no, something's wrong. I'm not ready. Here's a new script. Yes, my sound feels tight right now. And I know it can open up as I breathe and relax and listen. Yes, I feel stiff. And I can prioritize resonance over force for 5 minutes. Or maybe you're on stage and something goes off. Maybe a shift is late, entrance is not clean, or your memory is shaky. So the old script would say, that's it, it's ruined, everyone knows. Here's the and version. Yes, that's not what I wanted, and I'm back on the phrases. Yes, that surprised me, and I can keep the character and the line. Yes, I felt shaky, and I can anchor to rhythm and keep moving. This is the moment where yes and becomes the opposite of spiraling. Because spiraling is no. No, this can't be happening. No, I can't feel this way. No, this has to go away right now. And I know you know what I'm talking about when I says that no creates friction inside your system. Yes and reduces friction. It keeps you in motion. So now I want to give you a simple breathing exercise to pair with this, because words are powerful and great and all, but breath is even more direct and more impactful. So here's what I want you to try today. It takes 1 minute. You sit or stand, and I want you to inhale through your nose for 4 and exhale for 6. And you're going to do that 5 times. So on each inhale, you're going to say quietly in your mind, yes. And on each exhale, you're going to say, and. Yes. And. Yes, this is here. And I can stay with the music. And if you want, you can plug in your own sentence on the next breaths. Yes, I might mess up and I can recover. Yes, I feel activated and that energy can serve me. So inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Yes, and. And one last point before I close. This is not about eliminating nerves. It's about changing your relationship with them. You don't need a silent mind to perform well. You need a mind that you can work with. You need a nervous system that feels supported and not bullied. So today, take yes and into one place. Your practice, a warm-up, a rehearsal, or your next performance. Catch one scary thought. Don't argue with it. Validate it and keep going. Yes and. And if you want to tell me where you used yes and this week, send me a message. I love hearing how these tools land in real musicians' life. For my fellow note takers and my deep thinkers, the summary and transcript are waiting in the show notes for you, so there's no need to take notes. And if this episode was helpful, and if you want support applying this to your own playing, book a discovery call with me. This is exactly the kind of work we do together. We look at what your anxiety is doing, what your thoughts are doing, what your nervous system is doing, and we build a plan you can trust in practice and in performance. You go to mindoverfinger.com/coaching, book your free call, and let's talk. All right, this is what I have for you today. Take very good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. Much love going your way, and à bientôt.